Yeah, I just thought I'd take a walk around here and do a little video. This is my train layout that I built with my grandsons. It's taken us about 10 years to get it to this point, but it's not completely done, but it's never going to be completely done. My grandson started rebuilding the city and streets. It was starting to look pretty good, but he just gave up on it. Doesn't want to do it anymore. He wants to tear this whole layout down, just tear it completely apart. Instead of being a walk around oval circle layout like it is now, he wants to take down the walls in the back there and open it up so that you can walk through in here and go into the center and be able to walk around in there and run trains as well. But he doesn't want all the scenery. He wants more track. I don't know. I got very mixed feelings about it. This is something that I built with them, and a lot of money, a lot of hours, a lot of time, a lot of frustration putting this layout together, building these here and getting the track set up, building a full working roundhouse, turntable. It works. All this, it's cluttered up now. They got a lot of stuff sitting around on it that don't need to be. Like you can see here, they got trains and stuff sitting around on it. They keep buying more trains, but there's really no place to put them, but just leave them sit on the layout. Built this scenery back here, this hill. I mean, could have been better, yeah. You know, you can see these little things here, you know, crevices and stuff that I could have done a little better, but I never done anything like this. Built this little mining community up here. Got the mule train coming up through here and around and over and up into there. The horses and stuff waiting. Got a little river or creek running down through here with some fishermen in it. There's a bag of fake water that I was going to put in it to do it. Just never got to it. Never got around to it because they got to complaining about it. They didn't like it. They don't like this hill. It comes down there and it comes up through here, and it's got an incline on it. They don't like it because some of their trains don't like to run up it. They got to put 2 and 3 locomotives on to get it up the hill, and they don't like doing that. They think they're going to be able to run longer trains on it without this hill. But I don't know. I'm concerned because they don't like the radius of these curves. They say the radius of these curves are too sharp. They want wider curves. I don't think they're going to be able to have that with the layout design he wants without having that. Because now they got to turn around in this space here, and that's 3 foot. In that 3 foot space, you're probably going to have, I don't know, without doing the math and figuring it out, probably 20-inch radius maybe, 15. I think these are somewhere, I don't know, I've never really, it's flex track, so it isn't exact science, but I'm guessing somewhere in the 30s, 30-inch curve. I don't know exactly. But yeah, up in here, we got deer and mama bear. Yard. An industrial park here. It's cluttered up with stuff because they just stuff everywhere. Never ever got completely done. This is a trolley line that come out of the city, run these trolleys on it, and would go out. And he got it so that it would. He got a programmer on it. He never got the bugs worked out of it, but he was putting the city streets in through there. The trolley would stop down there, and then it would come down and stop somewhere in here. And then it would come on around here, and it'd stop here, sit there for a few seconds, and then it'd go on up, and it'd stop at that building up there. Then it would reverse and come back through. And it needed some bugs worked out of it, but it just never got right. They've had trouble with these switches. We talked about changing those switches out to better quality switches. I wish I hadn't used those switches there. They cause a lot of problems with some of the locomotives. This particular train I'm running now seems to run around through here real good. But there are some that don't like the switches. There are some that don't like the hills. Here's my little bicycle thing. Got some bicycles down in here with a tent and a fire pit there, if you can see it there. A little house here, like a little Amish house with a shed back there. The water tower has a blinking light on top of it that Garrett put in it. Garrett's really good at doing the electrical stuff and things like that and working with this stuff, but he gets frustrated with it quickly. Over here, he put all these nice lights inside this station. Made it really nice. Put a light there and flagpole. It even has a light on it. Movie theater in the building. This is really starting to look pretty good. But he got frustrated with the trolley. They started going out to the train clubs. Most all the train clubs have closed down now, just due to bad management, and he just couldn't work it right. Here's a lumber yard. But they started going to the clubs, and they've got those great big huge layouts. Big layouts where they can run their big trains and they can walk all around them. But they've got these big huge commercial buildings that they put these layouts in. This is in the basement of my home. This layout is 11 foot from that corner to this corner, and it from this corner here all the way down to that corner is 16 foot. The inside behind that wall is just storage, access to the electrical and stuff. It's all DCC controlled, computer controlled, digital command. We run Digitrax command center. He runs some Digitrax decoders in his locomotives. He runs several other brands. I can't think of what they are right offhand, but other ones he runs in them. Here's a control center I started to build so we could switch all the switches. I got some of the switches working that you could just flip a switch here, so a dispatcher or somebody could sit here and flip the switches and control the trains. Here's the controller for the roundhouse. There's a controller there behind those. There, you can kind of see it in there. That's so that they can run analog trains on here, non-DCC, non-computer trains, so they can run them on the layout by just flipping a switch on that control panel. Converts the layout over now to DC. It also runs the switches. It powers the power switches that controller does. These controllers down here, there's the Digitrax controller. And there's the power supplies for the street lights and building lights and some of that around the layout. I had that drawing, painting, or picture put up there. I wanted to get someone to paint that back to give it some depth. But I never could find anybody that wanted to come over here and do it. Stuff. Here's the little workshop that I put together, and a printer and stuff. Garrett's kind of been taking over all that stuff. and doing it. He needs to get down here and clean it up. There's my dad's old workbench. My dad was a watchmaker for 55 years. His brother was. My dad's now passed away. But I have his bench. And it still has a lot of his tools and stuff still in it that he used to work on watches and stuff. I need to go through it and clean it out so Garrett can put some of his tools in it and use it. Shelf there of spare parts and projects. There's some of their books, and there's some more of their trains. This is why they got no place to store them. They keep buying more trains. No place to store them. There's one of the kids' friends. His name is Derek. He's a good kid, and he comes over here and runs trains, and he stores his HO trains here. We're trying to get him some shelves and get that cleaned out so he can better organize his stuff. They got trains stored underneath here, all in boxes and stuff, underneath the layout. Kids got these model airplanes up here hanging. Some of them look pretty good. Some of them never got finished. But sadly, this is all going away. Got a little hotel here with a swimming pool. Sadly, they want to tear this apart. I don't know. It just kind of almost breaks my heart. I can see, change and stuff, but I don't know. He doesn't want all the city and all this on it. He says he's going to have some hillside, a little mountain and some trees and stuff in it, but none of this detailed stuff like we got here, the motel and the city and the trolley. There won't be a trolley on the new layout. They want more track to run trains on. All that's going away. That yard and all that's going away. There's one of the little controllers that we use. They can run them off of those. We can run them off of our smartphones. We can run them off of these throttles here, are radio controlled throttles. Once you program the train into the throttle, then you can just connect it, and it communicates through a radio frequency. The room is really nice. Got the table, some chairs and stuff. It's cluttered up with stuff, but it looks good when it's cleaned up. But here's a puzzle my dad built for us. It's missing a piece. I always try to get people to find the missing piece. Some photos that we bought from somebody. Those ones did. But the kids got photos up down here too. There's some more over there. There's some more trains and stuff in there. Some Lionel O-gauge stuff. Some HO older stuff that we don't run anymore. Exercise equipment. Some puzzles on the wall and frames that my dad built for us. Put together. He liked putting puzzles together. There's the old bell. The kids got an antique bell. There's an old antique bell there that would have been on a locomotive to ring. There's a bell there. Would have been used on a switch on signals when you railroad crossings. This one would have been used too. They all work. This one gray one here, Gregory was having a little bit of trouble with it, but it does work. Some pictures up there. That picture there is one that Garrett took, and then he worked on the computer to make that photo there. Here's some more that the kids have taken over the years. These three here they took, which is pretty nice. I've been trying to get them to do some more. Here's some more pictures that they took. They're great photographers, both of them. There's a roundhouse. I'm not sure if that's Kansas City or up there in Cheyenne, Wyoming. I can't remember where this roundhouse is. I think it's Kansas City, but I'm not 100% sure. But there's another one the kids took. and printed it, put it in a frame. That little caboose lights up when it's plugged in, but I need to get an outlet put over here so you can plug that plug in and it lights up. It's pretty cool looking. Got some heat. Got more train pictures over here. And here's some more. This is the 844 Union Pacific that come to Kansas City a few times. We got to enjoy and see it. Signatures of all the people involved with it. There you go, another picture. I think that's a 3985 there. Diesel. No, it's a steam engine. I doubt we'll ever see again. I think its days of running are done. They've replaced it now with the 4014 Big Boy. That was a Challenger series. There's the 844 again. Here's the 3985 Challenger series that we'll never see on the rails again. It's sitting up at Cheyenne, Wyoming now by their roundhouse. It's in disarray, just pieces and stuff. I guess the boiler needs rebuilt and needs some work, but they don't plan on giving it any love. They're planning on replacing that with the 4014, the big boy. I don't have a photo of it. Here's some more pictures that the kids took right there. These are pictures the kids took. Yep. And there, Papa and Grandson's Railroad. I'm trying to talk Garrett into help me pay for put a drop ceiling in here like they have in offices, the suspended ceilings with the tiles lift out and stuff. That way it finishes the room off, makes it look nicer, helps with some of the sound and the heat in this room. And if we ever need to access the wiring or the plumbing above this, why then we can do it very easily just by lifting out a tile. But if you do drywall, like they did out here in the hallway, it looks nice, but if you got to access the plumbing or electrical above it, it becomes a problem. Or if you have a water pipe that breaks, it makes a big mess. Where with a drop ceiling, you just replace a few ceiling tiles and you're done with it. You don't have to do all that mud and tape and sanding and painting and all that crap. But yeah, there's some more planes that the kids built. This is what Gregory's little steam engine there that runs those Ferris wheels and the merry-go-round and stuff. It works. It does a pretty good job. The belts he's got on it aren't very good. He needs to get some better belts so it runs better. But another project they started, never finished. And now they want to tear this apart. So anyway, I thought I'd do a video so that someday when I'm in the nursing home, I can sit and look at this and remember what I did and what I had. We'll see. But if anybody does get to see this, thank you for looking at it. Thank you for listening to me whine and cry a little bit. But it's really kind of tears at my heartstrings just a little bit. But I understand. He wants to grow. He wants something different. He wants something to do it. But I don't know. I think we was on the right track by continuing to improve this one and fix the streets and fix the electrical problems and stuff. I built this entertainment center down here in the front for the TV. It was designed to have the old school boob tube TVs in it. And now they're going flat screen. So we're talking about rebuilding this and making it look a little nicer and reconfiguring it so that it can accommodate a flat screen TV better. But that's all yet to come yet. Anyhow, there's a little tour of our train room, what it looks like today anyway.